Welcome back to Talk of the Town. My next guest is Dr. Susan Krebsbach from the Dane County Friends of Ferals. Dr. Krebsbach, welcome.
Well, thank you very much.
So, talk to us a little bit about what is the Dane County Friends of Ferals.
Well, it's a nonprofit animal protection organization located in Madison, Wisconsin. Our mission is to establish a no-kill standard and promote the value and well-being of Dane County feral cats. Essentially, we have three areas that we're working in. One is the rescue and adoption of cats, both friendly and feral. The second is sterilization, spay and neuter, through a program called Trapneuter Return. And the third is community outreach, where we actually go to different communities and we educate them about the care and treatment of free-roaming cats.
So you've mentioned a lot of information there. I'm going to ask you some questions about that. But
Sure.
First, can you talk to viewers about what a feral cat is? I mean, is that different from just a stray cat?
Well, only from a behavior standpoint. And there's no clear definition of what a feral cat is. But in general and overall, these are cats that don't welcome human contact. So, and the degree of that may vary from cat to cat. And really a better terminology and something that's gaining more popularity is something called community cats. And what that is, it's an umbrella definition for any unowned cat. So this may be friendly cats, it could be feral cats, unsocialized cats, it could be cats that are born in the wild, pets that are abandoned or lost. So the key is that regardless of the individual cat's circumstances, the term community cats reflects the reality that for these cats, their home is the community, not an individual household.
Right. And I like the fact that we're calling them community cats because it makes us remember that, hey, they're part of our community at large as well. So,
Exactly.
You mentioned the Trapneuter Return program. Talk to us a little bit about what that is.
Sure. Well, as the name implies, there's three components. The first is trapping, and basically this would be when either a caregiver or a volunteer traps a free-roaming cat in a live trap. They're brought into a clinic where they're neutered or sterilized, and usually they're also vaccinated for rabies and distemper, as well as their left ears tipped so that they can be identified as being sterilized from a distance.
Oh,
and that's important to do because we can't really spay a cat that's already been spayed.
Right.
So we want to have a way of identifying that they've already been spayed. And then the last step is return, where basically they return to their original location with the caregiver.
Okay.
There's many benefits to this. The first is that it's a way of halting reproduction without causing harm.
Right.
And this is something that is definitely endorsed by many veterinary as well as humane organizations.
Right.
It reduces and eliminates free-roaming cat populations through natural attrition.
Sure.
It's better for the individual cat's health and their welfare. It eliminates nuisance behaviors, and probably most importantly, it's the only scientifically proven way of reducing free-roaming cat populations.
Yeah, obviously if they can't reproduce, then the population is going to go down. And
do it naturally.
Right.
Exactly.
Right, absolutely, yeah. And why, talk to us a little bit about why and how Dane County Friends of Ferals was founded.
Well, it was actually founded in 2001 originally, and the reason being is that we wanted to provide a better outcome for these cats who were pretty much being ignored because they were considered unadoptable. Back then, I think the estimates were between 78 to 100 million feral cats in the United States. And then almost 100% euthanasia rate for any feral cat that came into the shelter system. And so impassioned by, or really riding on the fuel of a whole bunch of volunteers that had lots of passion.
Sure.
There's a grant from Maddie's Fund to sterilize feral cats. And the use of my garage, Dane County Friends of Ferals was born.
Okay.
And it has just grown leaps and bounds since that point. Something I'm really proud of.
That's good. Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's so great. And obviously you've been doing this for 14 years now. You must have some really, really great stories. Talk to us about what one of your favorite stories is working with Dane County Friends of Ferals.
Well, there's many, as you can imagine,
Sure.
but one that really hits home is in the summer of 2014. So last summer, we were participating in something called Maddie's Pet Adoption Days. So we had a whirlwind of adoptions, 153 cats in one weekend we were adopted. And one of the things that we used to always kid about, the original volunteers for Friends of Ferals, and when the founding members, we'd say, wouldn't it be cool if we had a waiting list for feral cats?
Sure.
I almost fell off my chair when our secretary, Allison O'Hare, calls me up and she said, Susan, you're not going to believe this, but we actually have 3 homes waiting for feral cats.
Oh, wow.
I never thought it was possible.
Wow.
And then it was amplified even more as a couple of days later, Cher Blas, who's our president, said, and she's one of the original founding members, she goes, Susan, it's not 3 homes. We have 6 homes.
Wow.
And I was like, pinch me. I can't believe this. I didn't think it would ever happen in my lifetime. And here it did.
That's awesome.
Which is great. It just says something about our community. We really have a great, very, very responsive community.
Well, Dr. Susan Krebsbach from Dane County Friends of Ferals, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Don't go away. When we come back, we're going to talk with Champion Appliance Care and find out why it's important to have your dryer vents cleaned on a regular basis. Stay with us. It's Talk of the Town.